All the disrespect before you play back, button check. Button check.
What is up, Button Check family? Thank you guys for tuning in once again. We are back with another hot one. It is Sunday. The weekend is here. Well, hell, the weekend's almost over. And once again, like I said in the last video, please excuse my voice because I still got a cold or flu or something like that. We all went to go get tested. My youngest daughter, who is 6 years old, tested positive for COVID, right? This was like a week and some change ago. So we all been quarantining together. Well, the quarantine was just about over, and then all of a sudden, I got sick. Now, everybody's still testing negative, but somehow we still all got sick. Anyway, hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. I'm finally starting to get a little better. I don't know if I got the damn cold or a flu, but either way, as always, we got the chapters, links, stinks, planks, all that good stuff down below if you guys want to skip around to a certain subject. We's about to get it started. We got the hot clips, hot topics. Ladies and gents, let's go.
Fuck you.
You could easily say this game has rollback.
Yeah. Rollback, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
rollback. Found it, chat. The game has rollback. You can't see the joke. Kitty's laughing at his own jokes. Look at him laughing at his own
He's
jokes.
not his joke, he read that from the chat.
Oh, well, that's fair game.
That's fair game.
Yeah.
I'll finish this! Horyotsun! You're done! You can't escape!
投げ抜けてフレームめり込んでいる。ここは打っていきますがガードしての取り飯持続うまい。さあフルコンボ、そしてここも読んでいる。スタン取り飯が対応していきました。
Alright, and now we're to the first set of buttons that need to be checked. This one pops off in the world of the almighty Daigo Umehara, right? Lord Daigo. As we know, he wasn't feeling too good in the last month or so, right? He was tested positive for COVID. He was hospitalized, but thank God he's now doing better. He's back out. He's streaming. He's playing once again. And you know, gods do what gods do. He is back whooping some ass online. High Fight actually posted this just the other day saying the one to end Daigo's 61 winning streak. All right, so we'll start right here from the beginning or the second round because I believe Daigo actually got the first round. And the second round here, High Fight goes on to say that it looks like Daigo tried to jump in for the full punish. Okay, here we go. Activates, throws him over. It looks like he's literally about to close it out and keep his winning streak. Wake up super. Let me rewind that real quick. Activates. Okay, throws him over. Hits him. Wakes up super. Damn. At that space too. When's the last time you've seen somebody like wake up super from that distance at this high level of play and win? Because I would think so too, right? There's a gap. There's an opening right there, right? You should be able to jump over. Well, I would think anyway. Daigo looks very shocked. Let's watch it one more time. Throws him over. Throwing them Sonics. There's a space obviously right there, but he gets hit. That's weird, but it is what it is. Then this is the one, round 3, the one basically that ended his winning streak. Let's check it out. Reading that. Got some in the corner, shutting it down. Man, I hate when Ryu gets you like that. But he got out. That's what's up. The antis is on point. When they have you shut down like that, it's like when your opponent is on like that with them antis, if you feel like you can do nothing. Ooh, with the shimmy.
いや、さっきの電人なんでダメだったんだ?
Anyway, FGC is reacting. Some people saying it's incredible. Basically, good to see Daigo being healthy again, godlike. 61. Some people saying, even if this clip is showing the loss, 61 is still godlike. Like 61, come on. Definitely good to see Daigo basically doing what he does. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at it, it looks like he probably, he was this close to pulling that off and going to 62, and who knows how far he would have gone after that. But this is the cool thing. I literally just realized this right now because they tagged Hamad in this, saying you out here ruining win streaks. I didn't know this was Hamad. I actually know Hamad from like the Ultra days. This dude was godlike. He would come to like the absolute battles and stuff like that, and he would just wreck shop, I believe, with Fei Long, and nobody, I remember we tried to do like money matches on the side, nobody wanted to play him. So Hamad, if you're watching this, man, good shit. We love you, man. Take care. I'm sorry, yo, my voice is just, golly. All right, and now into the next set of buttons that need to be checked. This one, ladies and gents, is an in-depth interview. I feel like it was a super interesting story because we have, a lot of times when we have like major events, right? Like majors, we're talking about like your CEO, combo breakers, and on and on. We see these things going on, but we don't really know the struggle of how it operates behind the scenes, especially like what TOs have to go through. There was a TO by the name of Isage, right? That's been in the community for, what did he say? Like over 20 years or something like that? A ridiculous amount of time, right? He was super vocal like a week ago or so about the struggles in what he's wanting to happen as far as like with certain tournaments, offline tournaments that are about to happen. He does call out some well-known tournaments in TOs such as CEO and that organization, but in the end, I think what he's trying to do is just open up the process for better communication. Chapters down below if you want to skip around to a certain subject. Hope you guys enjoy. Let's go. We are back as promised one more time with a very important interview. I believe so. This one's going on. Well, we'll catch you up to speed right now. The gentleman that you are looking at, let me put him on the screen. Isage, thank you, man, for joining us, blessing us with your presence here, man. This is my first time actually meeting this gentleman, so I appreciate you doing this, man. For those people that don't know who he is, I'm going to put his profile on the screen right now. He's involved with Esports / FGC TO for final round, commentator, coach, manager, advocate for players and the Tekken community, and the list goes on. This dude has his hands in a lot of things right now. And to catch everybody up to speed, the reason why we have him on today, and I believe he can kind of go over all this, but you probably guessed, like I was saying earlier, by the title and the thumbnail and all that, kind of what we're talking about. Let me know, Isage, as far as like if I'm getting it wrong or right. I'm just going to give a brief summary. So apparently from what I was picking up is there's a gentleman by the name of Eric Smalls, the CEO of Biggie Gaming. I saw he made a tweet the other day talking about, he did a poll asking people, should we do Summer Jam or should we do NEC? And then the poll basically voted for NEC. Then he made another tweet that I saw fairly recently saying, all right, check it out. NEC is going to happen in December. And we're talking offline, right? We're not talking online. So this is a big thing, right? Because we're getting back to normalcy. Shortly around that same time, I don't know exactly what time, but I also saw another tweet from Jabali talking about how CEO.
Yeah, so it's CEO Taku is the event that had gotten
that was
moved to December,
right? And then he said basically just CEO, I guess, is swallowing that.
Yep.
And that CEO is also gonna happen in December offline, right? And then lastly, I'll read a tweet that I saw you post that said, for those caring about the infrastructure, RE, a bit of the what the fuck moment, I can see where these contingencies and escalations built in place for CEO, but to piss away the opportunity to make amends and unite our TOs just to try to play FGC Vince McMahon is unfortunate for the community. And I also saw the homie Sabin post saying, I wish this wouldn't keep happening. The OGs know what it is, unfortunately. So that tells me, of course, there's a lot going on. I didn't see too much from Jabali at this time addressing this, but I saw a lot from your side and some people actually supporting what you're saying. Now, is this accurate in what I'm saying as far as like the rough draft?
Oh yeah, that's kind of the short version, if you will.
Okay. Take it away, sir.
There's definitely an ongoing history. I guess probably some things probably worth mentioning in that whole schedule there is that CEO Taku 2020 was originally canceled. And they've mentioned we're going to reschedule for 2021. CEO Taku typically takes place as well in usually the fall, because it was kind of ran counter of the fall classic. So there's always this mindfulness of when the other is doing something very much similar to the old pro wrestling days. You had your regional shows, and you didn't do shows in a rival region's area.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Jabali has a history and a reputation that precedes him. I believe we had announced Final Round 2020 in, I think it was August 5th of 2019 when Final Round 2020 was announced. 2 full months later, on November 7th, he announces that CEO Dreamland is going to be the week before Final Round. So, and there's a history with events being scheduled a week to 2 weeks before Final Round. Before, when we were not part of the Road to Evo series, Texas Showdown became one, and that was a week to 2 weeks ahead before us. So,
Yeah.
there's a lot of bad blood, as you could probably imagine, historically.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, to add some more perspective to that whole CEO Dreamland thing, back in 2017, after CEO Dreamland, there was actually an article at ESPN.com where he mentioned he lost $20,000 from winning that event, so he probably wouldn't do it again. So for him to magically schedule that a week before Final Round, when it was 2 months after we had, given the history between him and Shin Blanca, and that's that's probably another situation altogether with the Final Round 19 bit. So clearly, a lot of bad blood there. And a lot of folks had been talking kind of through the grapevine that this whole COVID situation could give us an opportunity to kind of maybe hit the reset button there, maybe like, hey, because a year and a half to not have to deal with somebody is a long time. And while that happened, they could possibly forgive and work with.
Right.
But of course, for that to kind of go down the way it did, but it's, there's the lack of communication is the big part. There's so much animosity. I don't know if the animosity is both ways, but I do know the lack of communication is both ways on this one. So it's something as simple as a message to where, even when Alex was looking to move back, if he had just messaged, Eric before him, you're like, hey, are you doing something? This is what I'm doing. And then could have worked something out. And then, when he saw that announcement go up, that's when it's like, hey, I was going to run CEO. Like, how can we, what can we do? How can we make this work?
Yeah.
Because that's always been a reason why the grassroots voice has never been as powerful as it could be. Because the figureheads have never been united. It's always been, everyone has their fiefdom. And so for that to happen, for this to have gone down the way it did, it's people are just like, oh, F. And then again, in this case, Jabali's reputation precedes him. Even if, when you look at the timeline, okay, he was putting the stuff out there. Why was nothing said then? Well, why did he not extend, when NEC's traditionally been?
Right.
Why didn't you? I mean, were you going to bully them out like you tried to bully Larry out? Is that what happened here? And if it, because that's those are questions he's going to have to answer.
Let's say you're in Jabali's shoes, right? And CEO is your baby, right? You're wanting to come back this year. You're getting the itch. Because I think in one of his tweets where he was like, man, I miss tournaments. Obviously he would, because that's what he does. You know what I'm saying? So that's his livelihood. Now you're thinking, okay, if I'm going to do it this year, when's the best time to do it? Obviously you're going to think the latest possible, right? So of course, December, November, something like that. From your point of view, what would your strategy be? Because I know a lot of people are probably thinking, well, maybe Jabali's doing December because that's the only month he can do. Do you also see it from that perspective, or do you think November would have been easier, especially if NEC is happening in December?
Sir, you bring up a very good question, because it depends on who you ask. Are you asking someone who's industry based, or are you asking someone who's community based? That's going to be
I guess industry based. I think
industry based. He did what he had to do.
Okay.
Industry based. It's your brand, your way of the highway. Now, if I were part of the marketing department or community management and I had a voice at the table, I would definitely ask, like, are we going to do this without talking to Eric? That seems kind of foolish. That seems like we're shooting ourselves in the foot here. Like, oh, no, we're going to include it here in the second tweet in the CEO cancellation.
Yeah.
Can we do a little better than that?
Yeah.
No, that's the only time we're going to mention it. Oh, okay. If we're looking at it from a strictly business perspective, if you're an individual that believes business is business and you owe nothing to nobody else and go maximize whatever numbers you're trying to chase, then he did what he's supposed to do. Was it ethical? Absolutely not. Was it morally okay? No. Was it a dog eat dog survival of the fittest type move? Absolutely. So that kind of gives you an idea into the mindset there.
Yeah.
I guess maybe community effort might not be the best way to call that anymore.
NEC has been there for what, 20 years plus or something like that?
Probably a little more, yeah. So,
so
in full disclosure, I've had run-ins with Jabali as well, but even despite all that, I still volunteered at the CEO that happened just before the pandemic hit. So, I got Daytona AIDS the following week, as I called it, because I was sick as a dog for a week. Oh Lord!
Because I've always liked, honestly, I don't know Jabali, but when I saw him when he was a player. I remember watching him play knuckle doing stuff like that. That's my first run-in with him from knowing him. Then I saw CEOs just spurt wings and take off. I first met him at Evo. That's when he was in the wheelchair that one year. I want to say it was 2018 or something like that. And
I forgot.
Yeah, the funny thing is my only encounter with him, and he was very nice to me. I said something like, "Hey, do you mind if I cover CEO like as a story, a topic, just like the reviews and stuff like that?" Because he didn't like the one I did at Daytona. Because Daytona was a blow up, you know what I'm saying? So literally all we did was report the facts. That's all we did. All I did was tell people what the pros were saying. And that was a really fucked up year. So of course, that brings negative press. I get that. So I get why he saw that. So he jokingly told me, "Yeah, I don't mind you doing stuff like that. Just don't talk shit." So he wheeled away laughing, told me, "Just don't talk no shit." And I started laughing. I go, "It's all good. It's all good." And I've always kept that in the back of my head because, CEO hasn't happened in such a long time. But now here we are doing this interview, so I can only imagine what he's thinking. So I just saw the reaction online from people talking about this, and I was like, yo, what's really going on here? People were tagging me, DMing me. Then I got to talk to you. I said, you know what? Let me reach out to this gentleman because obviously you're in the mix of it. And I saw your messages. So it's like, obviously there's something going on here. And this would be, I think, a good opportunity if there was a possibility, because I don't necessarily think this has to be an interview of shots fired because that's not what it was set up to be. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I think this could be, if there's a possible way of possible conversations to be had, possible bridges to be built. Like, is there an opportunity? If Jabali actually sees this, is that a possibility? Hey, definitely, everybody, check this man out. Links in the description field. NEC going down December. There's a lot of months between now and then, so if updates happen, we'll definitely keep y'all posted. And once again, Jabali, man, we hope this just brings, basically, like we said, I feel like I'm saying the word bridge too damn much in this video, but we just hope this builds basically just more communication in the FGC.
Yeah. Maybe not so much a bridge, but a messenger pigeon, at least.
Messenger pigeon. There you go. Put a note on the ankle, send that thing flying. That's it, baby. But anyway, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Get back to your family. Appreciate the love. We'll catch y'all soon. See y'all next time. Love you forever. Peace. Blah, blah, blah. Subscribe. Yo, my voice is just, golly. I feel like I should be doing like a sexy phone operator. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you just called it 1-800-SEXY-FGC. Say something sexy. Okay. Infinite. Hitbox. Buffs. No nerfs. Rollback. Netcode. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, yes.